Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Predictions. I am your friend and host, PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie, aka the Pro Wrestling Junkie. This weekend, we have a WWE Live Stream Network special show, pay-per-view, whatever. WWE TLC 2019. I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again. We don't need to name pay-per-views after match types. We don't need Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view. We don't need TLC as a pay-per-view. Elimination Chamber was a pay-per-view for many years. Okay, let's just have these matches mean something, and they have to top off feuds. That's the reason you had cage matches back in the day, and you had the last man standing, and you had the empty arena brawls, you had the lights out match. You had all these matches mean something, and I'm just not a fan of them calling a pay-per-view TLC, because that means you have to have a TLC match regardless of if the match that they put with that stipulation justifies for one or qualifies for one. And we've got 2 TLC matches so far for this show. One, I guess, kind of, calls for it. The other one does not even belong on the card, in my opinion. Let's get to the predictions. Let's go into the card. I'm about to say the show, but we're going to go into the card. And we're going to talk about the 7 matches that have been announced so far. I am recording this on Friday morning before SmackDown, so they may still announce another match or two. Who knows? But we have 7 matches announced so far, so let's get going. We've got the Viking Raiders defending the Raw Tag Team titles against a to-be-determined tag team. So we don't know yet. There's going to be an opponent. I don't see the Viking Raiders losing the tag titles anytime soon, but they are scheduled to have a tag title match. Then we have a table match for this god-awful 3-way Lana soap opera, horrible Jerry Springer crap. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley, because during the divorce segment on Raw, Lashley and Rusev had a table come into play. Blah. I don't care about the storyline at all. I wish it had never existed. I just think it's god-awful. So who's going to win? I mean, Rusev has to win. It makes no sense. Are you trying to completely bury Rusev, or are you actually trying to make him a star? He was already a star, didn't need the storyline to do anything for his, fan base. His fan base was already there. I'm going to go with Rusev getting the win, and hopefully we write off this horrible storyline and never have to talk about it again. Then we have a tables, ladders, and chair match for the women's tag team titles. Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, the champs, versus the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I don't want to see Becky and Charlotte get the win here, okay? Enough. We need Becky to get into more feuds with new opponents, not just Charlotte. Feels like they're just floating in the water with Becky to either put the belt on Charlotte, or they're waiting to see if maybe Ronda Rousey is going to come back, and then we get Rousey versus Becky at Mania possibly. But I want the Kabuki Warriors to win. I hate that name. I wish they were just Asuka and Kairi. Asuka, again, everyone knows my feelings on her. She should be challenging for the singles titles, but whatever. Same with Kairi Sane. They're both amazing, but it is what it is. No, I don't want to see the Kabuki Warriors lose, so I'm going with Asuka and Kairi Sane. Then we have Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. This could be an amazing match. I'm looking forward to this one, but I'm going to go with Aleister Black getting the win. And then we have the Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, and this is not advertised so far as a Universal title match. So we have Daniel Bryan, who's basically a heel, and now he's fighting for Daniel Bryan, who we have not seen since he was drugged underneath the ring and had all his hair pulled out by the Fiend. And this is again advertised as as Bray Wyatt versus Miz. So we're going to see Mr. Rogers Wyatt against The Miz in a wrestling match. We have not seen Bray Wyatt wrestle in how long? Because it's just been the Fiend character, his other persona. Bray Wyatt's going to win, or this is just going to end in a DQ, count out, and we're going to probably see Daniel Bryan show up and do something, and he'll have a new look. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing, is what do they do with Daniel Bryan? He has to show up. Come on. We have then the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Revival versus the New Day. Again, I'm so tired of seeing the New Day in anything. I wish they would just end this stable, or not even a stable, it's just a tag team, or whatever they are, trio. Just end the New Day already. It's played out. It's blah. I don't want to see any more pancakes. I don't want to see any more unicorn crap. Just move on, okay? Kingston is a great talent. Big E should be a monster heel, and that's that. But let's put the titles back on the Revival. Who cares? They just keep... It's like what they did with the Usos for a while, where the Usos would lose the belts, and then a week later they'd get them back, or a month later they get them back, and it didn't mean anything. You know, they're just watering down the titles again. Who would I like to see win? I want the Revival to win, and New Day to split up. But I don't always get what I want. And finally, which will probably be the final match of the night, because you know who's in the match. We have a TLC match, tables, ladders, and chairs match. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. Again, you have to put Roman in these matches with all the, weapons and tables and chairs and kendo sticks and trash cans, because this is how we get, decent matches out of Roman, and this is how you try to get the fans to come around, because if it's just a wrestling match, regular one-on-one, they're going to be like, whatever, but if it's a major spot fest of, major table crashings and ladder breakings and fallings and all that stuff, then the fans are going to be cheering for that. But Vince McMahon is going to be like, they're cheering for my boy Roman. It's like, no, we just want to see somebody fall through a ladder. It's like, it could care less that it's Roman that does it or doesn't do it. Obviously, Roman Reigns is going to get the win here. Big surprise. That's the full predictions. It's not the greatest card. I am looking forward to the Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. Kabuki Warriors versus Becky and Charlotte will definitely be a good match. You got 4 amazingly talented women. I think that should be the main event of the night, honestly. All right, that's all the predictions. Let's go on to some news and rumors. In an interview with comicbook.com, Lana has claimed that she has received death threats for her storyline with Rusev and Bobby Lashley. Lana was quoted saying, "Having death threats on me, and the FBI has had to call me and protect me, and I get death threats on my comments on Instagram, on Twitter, and people are bullies. Today I opened my email account and I had a death threat on my email." Lana also shared a screenshot of a comment that one person posted, who had called her a liar, a slut, a whore, and that she is trash. She added to the image saying that this is bullying and that she'll be reporting this to the police, and she feels that it's wrong to bully people. She even brought up the subject of how cyberbullying has led people to commit suicide. Okay, you want to be a heel, you want to be a bad guy, that's the kind of heat you're going to get if you do it right. You're going to get the crazy stuff. Let's rewind back to 1991. Sergeant Slaughter becomes a turncoat to the American country, to the American people, and he sides with the Iraq country, the country of Iraq with Saddam Hussein, all that stuff, comes out, starts spewing all kinds of things about how great Iraq is versus America, and you can debunk them or not. You can check it out, see if it's legit or not. But there was all these things about him getting death threats and bomb threats, and there was rumors about there was going to be a bomb threat at the arena for WrestleMania 7. All these things, but hey, that's the heat you're going to get if you pull off your heel character. Saying that, of course, I don't wish any death threats on anybody. But you can't be surprised when you get this kind of response. So Cody Rhodes recently filed for some old WCW trademarks, and now WWE has done the same exact thing. Here's some names that the WWE recently put in for trademarks on. These are old, pay-per-view names. So we have, Fully Loaded, Uncensored, Hog Wild, Sin, New Blood Rising, World War III, Living Dangerously, Spring Stampede, Anarchy Rules. So a lot of old ECW and WCW pay-per-view titles. There's also one called Massacre on 34th Street, which I think is an awesome name, but I don't think they're ever going to use that. Who knows? But if that's, if they're just worried about buying these up to protect other companies from using them because they're cool names, that's pretty petty. But that's WWE. They really do come off petty a lot. But if you're going to trademark these to hold on to them, then use them. You've got great names. You don't need to come up with new names all the time like Crown Jewel, Super Showdown, Great Balls of Fire. These are just stupid names. Let's use the really good established ones that we've enjoyed in the past and just use them again. How many people want to be able to say, hey, I went to Fully Loaded 98, 99. I'd love to go to a Fully Loaded show in 2020. Okay. So if you haven't heard, WWE made some cuts to their roster recently. They future endeavored Luke Harper, Sin Cara, and The Ascension. And there's a big rumor now that there are more cuts to come. We are just, weeks, really, weeks away from the Royal Rumble. And they need as many bodies as they can to fill the 30-man and 30-women Rumble. But there's a possibility they may make more cuts, right after that. Maybe the Monday after the Rumble, we see, people getting cut just so they could, hold on to them for bodies for the Rumble. All right, let's do some fan questions now. Remember, you can always follow me on Twitter, Pop Culture Junk 2. I'm always live tweeting during any WWE live stream shows, pay-per-views, network specials, etc. And you can send me questions and topics to get a shout out on the videos for the predictions. And I'll be live tweeting during the WWE TLC pay-per-view. And then following the pay-per-view that night, I'll be posting my spoiler recap and result video as well. First question, Rage in the Cage. Have you ever come close to fully stopping watching wrestling? Yes, a few times. I think the biggest one that stood out was when they had Benoit lose to Orton in 2004 at SummerSlam. I thought that was the most ridiculous move, and still stand by that today. I mean, he's just one of the worst employees they've ever had. Julie Chen asks, what's your favorite wrestling gift you ever received? Ooh. I have had a lot of wrestling gift items, but I think my favorite one would be in 2008. I was going through a really rough time. I was struggling to find work, like a lot of people were during that time period. And my then girlfriend, who's now my wife, she gave me tickets to WrestleMania because they were going to be here in 2009 at WrestleMania 25. And you rewind like 8 years prior in 2001, when they were here for 17, I was out of work when they had released tickets, and I didn't have any money to buy tickets at the time, and so I was not able to go to WrestleMania 17 live. I regret it to this day. I wish I had found a way to get tickets, but I just had no money. And then they announced that WrestleMania 25 was going to be coming to Houston again in 2009, and all throughout 2008, I was saving up my money, and then I found myself out of work towards the end of the summertime, and I had to put all my money towards paying bills. So yeah, God bless my wife now, but then she was my girlfriend, and she got 2 tickets to WrestleMania for the two of us to go to, and it was amazing. That was the night we saw Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, the greatest WrestleMania match in history. Becky Rollins, what is your favorite souvenir from a wrestling event you attended? Favorite souvenir would be the Bret the Hitman Hart shades. I got a pair of shades at a house show in, I want to say it was late 95, early 96. They came to Houston, had a house show, and I got a pair of the Bret the Hitman Hart glasses. That would be one. I've got a bunch of shirts. I try to get a t-shirt at every wrestling show I go to. And then on top of that, I would say my other favorite item is my wrestling chair. I've only had floor seats to one WWF show, and that was Night of Champions 2007 when they were here in Houston. Famously, of course, for the one that Chris Benoit did not make because of the tragic events that happened that same weekend. And it's the commemorative floor seat chair that if you buy floor seats, you get to keep your chair, and it's got Cena holding the WWE title, Edge holding the world title, and then Bobby Lashley holding the ECW title. Josh Floberg, do you think The Fiend or Bray Wyatt will wrestle in the match? I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt like they've advertised, but there might be a moment where during the match, the arena goes dark, he goes under the ring, comes out, comes back up, and he's dressed as The Fiend. What feud, if any, deserves a TLC match? I mean, if you're talking about feuds, the ones they've been pushing the most is, Lashley and Rusev. So that should be a TLC thing, but what are you going to do? Hang Lana up in a shark cage above them, and, the winner goes for that, but it's not like they both want her. Lashley wants Lana, and Rusev wants something to do with her, according to the storyline. So, yeah, but as far as feuds go, there you go. There's that. Kind of started one with Lacey Evans and Bayley, but, that hasn't really been going on long. So that's the problem. TLC, to me, feels like something you need to be reaching up for a belt. So it should be for a title, and it should be something somebody's been chasing for a while, something like that. Or it needs to be some kind of big blow-off match. But, again, we don't really have a whole lot of long, feuds that mean a lot, and they've really, pushed this Roman Reigns and Corbin one, but nobody cares. It's just blah. Look how bad the few weeks in a row they had. SmackDown began with Corbin and Roman, and they were just blah. He also asked, what is your all-time favorite TLC match? I love all the original ones, of course, that the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian did. One of my favorite ones is the SmackDown one. That's kind of like the Forgotten TLC match, they call it, or the Forgotten Ladder match, where it was right after Benoit and Jericho won the tag titles from Triple H and Stone Cold. They also did a TLC match where it was basically the original, three, Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian, versus Jericho and Benoit, and that was a great one. And also the one on Raw, which I don't remember all the participants off the top of my head. It's the one where I think RVD and Kane were a tag team, I think. I could be wrong, but yeah, it was a Raw one. I think it was on the Raw. It was when they were doing Raw Roulette, and they had a TLC match out of nowhere. They need to bring that back, by the way. Raw Roulette was awesome, and they really do need to make it to where any match could possibly happen. Actually have the cage above you, have ladders standing by, chairs, whatever, stuff like that. Spaced Out, Pushfire Barry, Rockers, Heart Foundation, Demolition. That's tough. Three of the greatest tag teams of all time. Well, I'm going to push Rockers because of Shawn Michaels. But as far as tag team goes, I'm going to push Demolition. I will fire the Rockers and bury the Heart Foundation. Rayford asks, any thoughts on the Seth heel turn with AOP? It was a week late. Should have happened earlier, and really just go ahead and call yourselves Shield 2.0 or whatever it is, because they had AOP drop the bulletproof vest stuff just in time to partner up with Seth. It's like, okay, we know what you're going for here, all right, but I don't know. We'll see. I like heel Seth better than a babyface. He doesn't pull off babyface well, so we'll see where it goes. Kitten Hunter, best dark match you ever saw at a live wrestling show? Oh, that'd be in 2007. Again, my girlfriend at the time, we've been dating since 2006, and then we got married in 2013. So, in case you're wondering, like, wow, how long have you been with this girl? Our first Christmas was Christmas of 2006, and so that was the first time we exchanged gifts, because we'd only been dating for a little over a month and a half or so, and she only knew a little bit about me so far. We're still getting to know each other, of course. She bought me a DVD of one of my favorite movies, Clerks 2, and then she said, I was worried that you weren't going to like my first gift I got you, so I got you this DVD because I know you like this movie. I'm like, okay, and I still have that DVD to this day. And she said, but here's the original gift. And she hands me 2 tickets to SmackDown, which is coming to Houston the following, I think it was in February. February of 2007, they came to Houston and took a friend of mine from work with me to the show. And it was when they would show, or they would record SmackDown and ECW, and then they'd air it later in the week. But the dark match at the end of the night was like a giant 10-man tag, and you didn't know who was going to be in it. They just started playing entrance music. So you'd have Undertaker came out, then you'd have Batista, and then John Cena, and then DX music with Triple H and Shawn come out. I mean, just one after Benoit came out. He was U.S. champ at the time. Just star after star after star after star, and every time somebody else's music played, the arena would just blow up because we couldn't believe, oh my gosh, we're getting all these mega stars. I think the match only lasted, again, probably like 10 minutes, but it was amazing just to see all these stars in one match. So, yeah, that was an amazing dark match. Finn in Doubt asks, how long will Bray hold the title for? Until they want to give it to Roman. I mean, that's the best answer. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for your questions. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Pop Culture Junk 2. I'll be live tweeting during the WWE TLC pay-per-view Sunday night. And following the show, I'll be posting my spoilers, recap, and results video, so you can stay tuned for that as well. Well, I hope you enjoy the show if you watch it, and you want to share your thoughts as we're watching. Make sure hit me up on Twitter, and let me know what you think of what they're doing, because I always enjoy hearing people's thoughts on the craziness that they give us. All right, guys and gals, take care, and thank you again for listening. I will see y'all later. This is PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie, signing out.